Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because, man, oh man, our privacy is gone, completely been erased. And AI has been a big contributing factor to that lately. Unbelievable. Hit the like button, please subscribe, and let's get right into it. This is wild. OpenAI, ChatGPT. Most people don't even realize this, but people ask it really specific questions, which I've done time and again for different things. One thing that is wild is that people give personal information about themselves, their health, their family situations, legal situations, business situations, give all this stuff. Well, one thing that came out last week was that Google is indexing some of these searches, and it has people's names and people's personal information or their company. Hey, we have a dispute over this contract with XYZ Corporation, and we think that they're a den of thieves. And this stuff is getting out there, and people are finding this on Google. Is that insane or what? Did you know that? I mean, I don't give it my name. You know, it's funny. It is absolutely funny that people are doing this. Last week, Sam Altman talked about the CEO of OpenAI ChatGPT. He said, "Hey, well, I want people to know that they don't have, doctor-patient privacy and the privilege when they go see their doctor and they can talk freely and anonymously and know that it's protected speech." No, you don't have that with OpenAI. So it is insane as we live through this industrial revolution, just like the internet. This is going to be a very, very wild time for people because we're starting to see more and more how this thing is going to be in our lives every single day. uh, Jesse from Washington sent me a great article about how companies are starting to use AI to interview people. You show up at the company for your interview. You're all nervous. You've got your resume with you. Go in this room, and you've got a camera pointed in your face, and they're going to interview through the computer. Better have the right answers. And they'll ask questions, and then they can press the issue or not. I am telling you, talking about cold and personal, we could talk about this all day long, but this is where this is going too. So Delta Airlines just announced that they are going to have AI basically for picking your seat and selling you tickets, and it's a great way for the company to make more money. They took so much heat from this. They just want you to understand that there's no more AI involved with your seat choices. The article's below on this, but again, we're going to have this in every part of our lives. We've talked about all these different things. I mean, I love where AI is going, but I also get a kick out of certain people that think that my job is never going to be replaced, Dan. I'm in sales. I can do so much. Man, I'm telling you, they have bots now that can call people. They have bots that can make sales phone calls, one after another after another. You know what it doesn't do? Doesn't take a coffee break, doesn't go to the bathroom, doesn't do anything but dial the next person. Okay, so yes, there's laws against us in certain areas, and people sign up for things. But you know what? Yeah, I'm interested in new doors for my house. Well, why have somebody call and grind on you, and AI can ask all the perfect questions and sound like Jessica from so and so window company? You know what I mean? That's where this is headed right now, and a lot of people just don't get that. So AI, I love it. I love it for a lot of reasons, but I also don't think that it's going to be the end all, the be all. There's going to be salespeople. There's going to be certain things that are going to be done. It's proven itself that with legal, there's going to be issues with it, but it's interesting. You know, Elon Musk and Tesla just got nailed in a lawsuit for $243 million in Florida for their self-driving mode where there was an accident and people died. So, Elon Musk, he wants the world to trust AI and the driverless cars. Now, my buddy that just leased his car, he said, "Yeah, Dan, the thing drives me home. The thing parks the car. It is the coolest thing ever." But he's sitting there behind the wheel. He's not sleeping in the back seat. So, what do you think about this? This is going to open floodgates. The article from the New York Post is great because it said this is the beginning of the end for this, because if you smell a lawyer, there's more. You lift the rug and they scatter. I mean, there's going to be more and more lawsuits. It's funny, I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago with a lawyer and said, isn't it funny, all the advertising for all these killer dogs, all the advertising for lawyers in this city. It's the personal injury capital of the world. Yay, yay. And I love it. You know, there was a lawyer here in LA who's in deep, deep trouble. And I'm not going to say his name, but one thing that this guy did was he would recommend a doctor, and the doctor's in the same building. The doctor then would inflate fees to the insurance companies. They would get paid. They would also have a family member that ran financing. And there's a cool thing when you have, there's a thing called lawsuit financing. Hey, listen, I'm going to sue this huge record company, and my royalties were, I was supposed to get $500,000 and they only gave me 50 grand. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll advance you money on that lawsuit. This personal injury attorney does that and charges people insane interest rates so they can get paid today for a lawsuit that may take 2 years to collect on. It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, the AI revolution, you're going to see more and more and more of this. And I find it fascinating that people, some people are upset about this. I personally think that this is just the beginning of this. What do you think about it? Hey guys, I want to talk to you about a special offer that we were given, and that is 7 days free on foreclosure.com. Are you looking for foreclosures around the country? This is the site for you guys, because they have everything. They have short sales, they have foreclosures, they have things that are discounted. You got to check it out today. But use the link below and they will give you 7 days for free. It's a great deal. I love the site. I think it's absolutely fantastic. One thing that I find interesting is houses that are for sale in my neighborhood. I looked at one guy's house about 1.5 miles away, and he's trying to sell it for $3 million, but he's in foreclosure right now. So, case of wishful thinking. Check it out today, guys. If you're interested in foreclosures, check out foreclosure.com. Get the 7-day free trial. It's very inexpensive too if you stick with the service, but check it out today. Use the link below and get the free 7-day trial. You're going to see real problems when it comes to homeowners insurance, renters insurance, just getting policies. If you are a landlord, it's got to be insane right now. Citizens Insurance Group, which is the insurance company for a lot of people in Florida, is getting rid of 43,000 policies. Hey, you need to find a new policy, a new company to handle your policy. This is terrible, guys. You have areas that are what they call high risk. This area right here is just a regular residential area. So this one doesn't face fire restrictions and flooding and things like that you can have in different areas. So they don't have the problems that you have with some of these other insurance. Now you go to Florida and places like that where you have hurricanes, these people, are doomed. Now you have to search for a new policy. Dr. Marvin sent that over, and it's great, but he also sent over another article about how restaurants are facing headwinds. I am telling you this right now, guys. It is so that has got to be one of the toughest industries right now, is to serve food. And yes, they're trying to squeeze us for every dime they can, and yes, they're trying to add charges to the to our bills. And am I against it? 100%. And the thing about this is that it's funny, when my son went and interviewed at different restaurants, it's probably the only videos I ever watched of mine was that one. And he said, hey, do you guys, for everybody he went to, in high-end steakhouses, fish houses, you guys don't add any surcharges. And they were all offended by the question. And he's like, no, wait a second. My dad just did a great article on this, but he's also having people that come up to him that are waiters, because the waiter will work, do everything they're supposed to do, and then they'll get the bill and be furious that there was 8% added on for insurance and for, building surcharges and all this stuff. And they said, we would never do that. So he's only working at places that do that. But one thing that you guys have asked for is, what is doing good right now? What industries are doing well right now? and I found 6 that are doing really good. Now, I'm not talking about the obvious negative things like foreclosure, divorce lawyers, bankruptcy lawyers. Put those aside. What industry is doing well? Number one, of course, is artificial intelligence. Anything that has to do with that, bringing down labor costs. I am telling you, if you work by yourself, you're going to have a chatbot that's going to work for you, that's going to do things as simple as answer an email, to answer the phone, to call people, to schedule people. Everyone is going to have this in their future. You're going to have this as far as the communication with your children. That's coming. It's coming very soon. You can set stuff like this up for free. So health and wellness products, supplements, people want to feel better, the GLP products, the Ozempic and all that shenanigans. Now you're seeing that Medicaid and Medicare may not pay for that, fatty. So you need to exercise and eat less, and don't take that poison, okay? Whoa, 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 Dan. You know how healthy that stuff is? No, I don't. I'm going to tell you that. I ran medical conferences, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm a marketing guy, and I have heard nothing good about that. Now, the next thing is cybersecurity. Anybody that can keep you safe, from the VPN companies are doing well, to people that can keep your password strong, people that can make sure your data is not getting stolen, making sure your data is backed up. Those guys are killing it right now, rightfully so, because, think about it. What would you do if you lost every photo on your phone and didn't have it backed up? Well, you know how much Apple wants, Dan? It can be, it can be $12 a month. Okay? What's the picture of your grandkids worth? Remember that. Anyways, these guys are killing it right now. And we just found out that there were 16 million more passwords stolen via Google, and they're telling everybody to change their password as soon as possible. So, another one, specialty contractor services. Now, what's this? These are people that do weird things. They just do gates. They just do landscape, plumbing, things like this, things that do lighting in the backyard, solar lighting people that just do, hey, I'll light your backyard, but I'll do all solar lights so you don't have to pay for it. You just pay for the system. People like that are killing it right now. People that do pool repair. How can I rehab this person's pool and not pay for, full-blown gunite and tile restoration? Things like that are doing well. The people that do roof saving, where they basically spray your roof down, clean off your roof, and put a treatment on that, those guys are killing it. So, of course, the defense and aerospace industry, they can be late in delivering people, and they can have people, be stuck in space for 8 months longer than they're supposed to, but they're doing really well right now. So good for you. Final one is still luxury goods and high-end retail. They're doing well still, even though they're having challenges, but people are going out and financing this stuff to the moon right now. It is insane. It's nuts, guys, that people are doing this. We have talked about car companies, talked about Tesla, we've talked about car companies, GM, everybody the last few months. Ford right now just had another 312 cars recalled because they could have gas line and brake problems. Okay, well, hello. Imagine a car that doesn't stop. That's why that stock is $10 a share. It is ridiculous. Henry Ford's rolling in his grave right now with the disappointment of all this stuff. Remember when manufacturing used to be making good things? We've talked about this in the past. I've talked about this with my friends. You used to be able to get something like a washing machine, and it would last 20 years. Now you're lucky if the thing makes it through the end of the warranty. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not covered in the warranty, Dan. Looks like it was abuse. Abuse, yeah, I washed clothes in it. Yeah, did you have the right settings on? I mean, it's ridiculous now how bad this stuff is getting. But let me know. Let us know what industry is doing well right now. Seriously. What's doing well? And don't say that they're overcharging people. I don't want to hear about car rentals and ridiculous things like that. I want to hear about industries that you think are doing well right now. A few more things to finish this video. Ray Dalio, who ran the world's largest hedge fund at one point, Bridgewater, he started that 50 years ago. Bridgewater Associates. He sold his remaining shares in it this past week. That's wild, guys. End of an era. But he's done. So, again, I like the guy because the guy's always been truthful and honest, and he likes to look at where the economy's going. And I really have seen a lot of things about this guy. He doesn't get too political, but what do you think? I think he's just been a good guy, but he's got a gauge and thinks that the economy is going to have more problems. NPR, I'm going to make sure I get the other one right because it's very satisfying. Um, NPR and public broadcasting, PBS, say that they're going to close because they have the lack of funding. Now, I am telling you guys, since 20 years, it has not been like free speech. It's been really politicized, and they're furious about this. So, again, here's the thing about this: we have NPR here, and they do the coolest fundraising things. I used to listen to this all the time, and they would have fundraising events like once a quarter. But what they would do is they would go to hotels, they would go to salons, they would go to different places like that, spas, and get, hey, listen, we've got a 2-day spa treatment for you, and we're going to give away 10 of them, but you got to donate $500, something like that. And it was worth listening to because they would have really cool hotels in the water that would donate stuff, and it was great. And the final story, and broker Aaron out of New York always sends me great stuff, and this was sent to me, but this is right up his alley, and it's CoStar. He always sends me CoStar stories, which are basically a lot of industrial and commercial stories. There's CoStar, and is suing Zillow right now. And I'm like, why? Well, again, an AI problem that you didn't think about, and that was when people go out and you search for a home online, you search for an apartment, they have stolen different images. Like people will upload one image and then that on a CoStar site like apartments.com and homes.com, places like that they own. Zillow is just grabbing those and using them as their own. So they're suing them for copyright infringement, and they're saying it's at least 70,000 images, and it could be as high as several 100,000 images. But you've seen it before yourself, where you go to these sites and they've got, you go to realtor.com, homes.com. When I tell people, look at the different descriptions, look at what they say, look if there's anything negative, because if there's something negative, why did the other sites not pick it up? But again, I like people like Broker Aaron, that has done this forever, okay? Dr. Marvin, I'm going to end this with this one because I'm trying to figure out how to share this. Dr. Marvin sent me the most wild thing, and that was there is a health survey, mental health survey, and it's not anonymous. And when you fill this thing out, it's like, have you ever been depressed? Have you ever wanted to jump off a building? I'm exaggerating. All this stuff is on there. And he's like, can you believe, Dan, that they're going to share this? You're going to put your name on this. Well, the data, you guys have talked about your privacy and stuff. Be careful what you guys fill out. Because here's a professional. Here's a psychologist, psychiatrist, doctor that is like, whoa, this is too much. It's too much information for people to have, or people to store data on. But again, they can do different things like, wow, people in South Miami are really whacked out of their mind. Wow, the Southern California area where Dan's at in Lake Forest, people are mentally ill. You know what I mean? That data can be used against all of us. So let me know what you think about this. But I'm telling you, haven't seen anything yet with this AI. It's going to be so much more. You want to get a hold of me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. I love the stories. And thank you, Jesse, for sending me that story, because it was great about the people getting interviewed via AI, which just sounds like hell. Very dystopian and awful. I'll see you soon, guys.